pinpoint of my life was Psychiatric hospital. From day to day, the police was in my house, and I got locked up for 6 months, which learned me a huge lesson about myself and the people around me. I scratched myself to blood, where you throw everything out of the window. I did some crazy shit, and then they have to force yourself to knock you on the bed, lock you up, and then put medication in your mouth for you to sleep.
What is the path to exit in this place?
Accepting.
Obviously, you get creativity from the dark side.
I didn't choose that part of me to be dark. It just happened to be. And that's why everyone tells me, like, Benjamin, why is it so BDSM? I really don't choose that because it's just like a love for me. I love that aesthetic. I love creating from something that is so sad, which is so toxic. It's such an unhealthy balance when you have it at work. Though it makes me do the best of my job. Because it's the way I see the world, I think. It's the only way I see the world.
Judassime, welcome on the Firestarters podcast. I'm so excited to have you here. I've been waiting for kind of a long time to talk to you. And I don't know if you remember, but we met each other at a party.
Yeah.
About 4 years ago, something in 2022. And we had thought about doing a little documentary together. Didn't go through.
Yeah.
And now, finally, you're here. So
here I am.
Extra warm welcome here on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. And so we have a little clip playing here in the back. And so this was a little bit unusual. The way we started the podcast, you came 2 hours ahead of time and you had to take the time to get ready. And so I want to get into who you are by asking how you prepared for today.
So, I mean, most likely when I go somewhere, I'm Benjamin. So I am staying I came from work, so straight from work as Benjamin coming here. And then I got into my glam, like wherever I go or wherever I do something for representing my brand whatsoever, I go into my full glam because that's where I feel the most comfortable. So as we can see, I played with the cat and got into the most beautiful makeup I can do today. Yes.
What is going on like inside you when you're preparing? I know I was a little bit distracting because I was, fixing some stuff technically.
Yeah, but nothing can distract me from the power I'm putting on. I think like I'm just putting music and I'm having fun. I think everything that I'm doing is all about having fun at the end. Even if it comes from a darker space, I love having fun. Like I put the best music I have at the moment. I take my little brushes, my little makeup, and here we are.
What is the best music at the moment?
At the moment, Slater 2.0, everything I'm doing. If it's getting ready, I love a good Slater song. I love like a good track that makes me like, okay, we're going for it.
Help me out here. I don't know Slater. Like, what do we?
She's an American artist, but she has been doing like a lot of electro, techno pop kind of thing. And just fucking can't. Like she's serving everyone. The lyrics are fab. The production is fab. It's taking back to like even old movie like Blade Runner. She's taking all the productions from those songs and stuff. She just does a great job as doing like a kind of like a dark techno pop songs. Like you've been hearing it also.
Yeah.
It's just good. I just love it. It's like a lot of like beat power kind of things.
I want to know more about the process that you go through when you're preparing, because as I understand it, you kind of create this alter ego with this makeup and these outfits, and that's why I was asking about this sort of transition.
Yeah.
And like, okay, we were talking a lot and stuff, but what is really happening, and what is this transition that you're making, and where do you end up?
I mean, back in the days, it was a rebellion state. So I think for me, it was a way of saying fuck you to everyone and just repurposing my face as a canvas and just making like, it doesn't matter like the gender identity as I identify. It was just to make myself feel beautiful and powerful. So that was like back in the days. It stuck with me forever. And I think it's going to stuck with me forever. And I think that's the underground culture of it all. It's just making ourselves feel like, because we're freaks at the end of the days and we're recognized as that. And this is looking freaky as fuck for the people outside. But for me, it's looking normal. It's looking hot. It's looking beautiful. So it's gonna stuck with me forever. But back in the days, it was very like a rebellion state of me saying, like, I don't want to be different because I know I am, but I want to look a different way and feel a different way. I want to provoke people to think differently. So that was the way of like looking very, very differently from like a human being. It's more like a Cenobite kind of looking. It's more like an alien. And that's what I think is missing in society. Everyone is thinking that we're all doing the same in the underground culture, but I think everyone is doing the same anyway. Like, we're just having fun. And we're looking, I feel like I'm looking the hottest ever. And for people, it looks creepy, but I love that. Go ahead.
Maybe
It's a different kind of beauty standards.
You're kind of redefining it, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think since like the old days of like punk and anarchy, we're all redefining a little bit of what's beauty and what's not. And it has been happening a lot in modeling, also in fashion industry. What is the actual beauty standard that we're putting on people? Is it our color? Like, that's the thing. It's like I'm coloring myself as something that is not even on the color scheme. It's fully titanium white, which is not even on the color scheme out of it all. So I think it's just repainting a full canvas and making free space for something that is new.
It's so specific what you have on. Like, what are the inspirations? Where is this coming from? Because honestly, of course, why did I invite you? Like, you trigger something in me.
Yeah.
And what you trigger in me is like, I feel like I know this. It's like when you hear a good song on the radio, like a new one, and you're like, oh, I know this song, and no, you don't. Like, it's new. You don't know what it is. So, what are you like? What are you tapping into? Like, what are these influences that are subconsciously telling me, like, I know this?
And for me, it's anarchy. I want everything to go to shit to rebuild something new.
So is it maybe like the clown or something?
There's a little clown-esque in there. Yeah, there's like the little lip going up. Like there's an always smile, kind of like this creepy always smile on. Like I might be the saddest, but I look kind of happy. Yeah. There's like this clown-esque thing to it. There's the goth and punk metal edge to it also. And then there's the boldness. Like the bold, I think, is just, I mean, it's alien. It's something out of the world.
It is.
Yeah. So there's like the three, I have a lot of inspiration from clowns also. There are some makeups I did back in the days. It was full clown inspiration from like horror movies and clowns. Yeah.
I'm finding it very confronting to sit in front of you. It's not my typical podcast. So I'm a little bit shocked or odd, let's say. So I'm struggling here to find my words to move on to the next theme. But what I always like to find out about the guests who come here on the podcast is a little bit like, where did it all start? And like, let's, I want to discover a little bit more about what makes you you. Mm-hmm. So can you maybe take us back a little bit and talk about your childhood or things that for you mattered when you were younger that started shaping who you've become now?
Lots of trauma. No, but for real, I think, yeah, since I'm very young, I've been exposed to trauma and exposed to horrible situations whatsoever. I've been putting myself also in those sometimes. I do agree that whatsoever, you never agree on abuse whatsoever. But since I'm like 14, 15, I think I've been through like police to abuse to whatever can go behind that. And that just shaped me who I am, like rejection. People really like, that's the thing that I think also today I felt like what is going to happen in the few weeks that is coming for me is that people are going to, because of an event that happened today, people are going to talk shit about me again.
Okay.
And that feeds me power because since I'm young, I've been rejected and being put from one friend group to another. And I've been never really like in a closed space where I'm really like feeling like I'm at home with anyone. It doesn't matter my family whatsoever. So I think that feeds me power. Every time I had to rebuild myself and I had to rewrite my story until someone was understanding me, which no one never does. So I think that just feeds me and that built who I am today. It's just like fearless power.
I don't want to have the gender conversation per se, but because, I also was young at some point and also didn't really know who I was and I had my own struggles. But can you pinpoint like what happened then at 14, 15 that for you made it difficult? And of course, by starting my question, I'm suggesting maybe that's part of it. But
I made choices.
But is there something else that happened? Can you take us, on the journey?
I think the biggest pinpoint of my life was psychiatric hospital. I've been locked up in a psychiatric hospital when I was, I think, 16 or 17. Like it was at the end of my high school years. And I got locked up in emergency. So I had like mental anorexia plus all the other mental issue that I had at that moment. And I got locked up for 6 months, which learned me a huge lesson about myself and the people around me whatsoever.
Was it forced?
It was forced.
It was forced.
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about what caused someone to decide? I imagine your parents.
My parents decided to put me there.
What happened? Like what built up?
We
to this?
didn't have a family anymore. So the family was falling apart, and I was the cause of it, and I needed space. So I told them many times I was running away from one young child to the other, to the other, to the other. And I think it blew out of proportion where I did some very weird decision at that age. I think it was very shocking for everyone in my family that I did those decisions. But I stand by it to this day. I will tell them over and over again that what I did, I was very conscious of it. But that blew out of proportion and they didn't want me in the family anymore, which I didn't want them neither at that moment. I learned to not love my parents for a good year or two, which we rebuilt that connection after. But that told me a lot about like, we don't have to love the people that put us on this world, which now I love my parents. Like, don't get me wrong. Now we rebuilt that, but that told me a lot about like, you don't owe love to anyone, even if it's your parents whatsoever. So I think at that moment, it learned me a lot. And also just seeing what some people go through in life, because in psychiatry, you're put in a room full of other people that have a lot of problems. And that learned me a lot of like, I'm not the only one here.
How does it work? Like, do you have a dormitory?
You have like a room.
And then they put you in common rooms during the day and then they just throw you with everyone in there.
You
What's
have like
happening?
a huge center. So it's basically like a hospital, so a normal hospital. And there's a main room where everyone goes. And there's like all the other, so the rooms of all the people, which you have like an individual rooms. There's never like a room where you share it. And there's a main room where you eat, where you have like conversation in the evening whatsoever. And then there is the downstairs, which is the psychiatrist and all the other rooms. And then the emergency room where you get locked up when you do like crisis and stuff. It's somewhere else also, which I've seen that room many times.
Okay.
It's like where you're like locked on a bed with like medication.
So is it like whenever they when they tell you what to do, you act up and then it gets worse?
When you go crazy. I had panic attacks that went crazy where I scratched myself to blood, where you throw everything out of the window. Like there's moment of my life I did some crazy shit, and then they have to force yourself to knock you on the bed, lock you up, and then put medication in your mouth for you to sleep.
What is the path to exit in this place?
Accepting. Because it was most likely a family problem and my decision, I accepted that no one is ever going to have the same view of life that I will have. So I just got through my own problems. I know my parents will never talk about it ever again, but I got through my own problems. So I accepted that my parents are going to have a different view on life than I have. So I was like, okay, Benjamin, you're never going to have the same vision. So just go through your own problem on your own. So I did my 6 months with my psychologist and I filtered myself with all my emotions and stuff. And then little by little, I got to accept that life is just what it is. I will just come out as more powerful on the other end. I don't have to force myself to explain myself.
That's really interesting. I want to go play the next clip because we met at a party right after COVID. God. This was the beginning. And the link I want to make is because I met your sister there that evening as well.
Yeah.
And she's such a lovely person. I had a really good connection with her. And I'm wondering like what happened with her because you took her with, and then you told me that we'll talk about it later, but you also took her to Zurich. So she is involved in your life and it seems like you are close. What was happening during that time in the psychiatric ward or whatever the fuck you call it? What was happening with her at that moment? And how did your relationship evolve? Because your parents, they don't want to talk about it, but your sister, she's close to you. So like, how did that
so what I know about my sister, she's very sorry for what happened because basically the whole blowout of the family was because she outed me on my decisions, not outed me as gay whatsoever, as my gender. She outed me on the things I was doing. And it's because of her basically that everything blew out. No, because everyone was scared of what I was doing. Action, reaction. So she outed me. She was like, Benjamin is doing something really shady out there, blah, blah, blah. And everything, like, from day to day, the police was in my house.
Was she trying to protect you?
They were scared, which I totally understand. I don't hold grudges upon anyone.
Okay.
At that moment, I do understand that it is scary to have a 16-year-old son doing those kind of things. Yes, absolutely. Like, I understand. But she's sorry to this day. Like even in Zurich, I think we had like a little moment where she was like, yeah, I mean, I could have died at that moment. And that makes her very sad because she knows that she would be kind of like the beginning of the whole crescendo that I would be dead because of depression whatsoever. So I think she's very sorry, even to this day, which I try to also tell her that it's not her fault. Like I did those decisions. She outed me whatsoever. Like we go through it. Move on. Like it's not something like everyone is alive, everyone is well. We love our family again. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
It could have been the wrong way. It could have been a very negative position that we are, but we love each other at the end of the day. I take her to Zurich. I take her to my shows. Like here on the clip, I think taking her and showing her, because I know inside of her, she's a little bit of a freak and she wants to kind of...
She's in the family.
Yeah. And she wants to kind of try, but she doesn't have the guts to really like go for it. And she doesn't have the artistic vision that I have. So I am clear in my vision, but she doesn't have that. So I take her to these gigs to just show her what it is. I make her little makeup. I make her feel like she's the queen of the world. And I love doing that with her.
That's lovely. So that's a really interesting evolution in the family connections, I suppose.
Yeah.
And so do you consider her as your only family, or is it really restored with mom and dad?
Oh, it's restored. It's fully restored.
Okay.
Of course, there are stuff that are never going to be talked again. And if they're being put on a platter, everything is going to explode again.
Okay.
Of course, there's the bomb button that is there. But I think everything is restored. I went on holidays with them not even long ago. I think it was 2 months ago. They invited me to their new house in Martinique. So I went there. But yeah, I think the family has been growing back together. And I love my parents. I love my sister. And yeah, we just love... We cannot stay too long together.
I think that's
with every family. Yeah, okay.
I don't want to speak too loud.
But yeah, after several weeks, like after 2 weeks, I'm like, okay, can I just take a plane flight back home? But no, everything is fine. Way better than it was. Love it.
I'm very happy to hear that. Let's focus a little bit here on the clip that's going on. I want to then kind of move from these younger years to the next stage, I suppose. Unless I missed a stage, please tell me if I missed a stage.
I don't think so.
There was Club Kid stage.
Yes.
And so...
That's that one.
Yeah, and the thing is, which is really cool, I was talking to Vlad Solovov on the podcast. And I talked about you in a very specific way. Of course, I remembered you, and I always had you in the back of my mind. Crazy that you're sitting here now, but I told him I found it almost genius what you were doing, but it seems like you weren't doing it completely on purpose the way I thought about it, which is like you had to kind of put yourself out there and you performed and you already started making, some outfits. And so it was like showcasing your work in real life. And I thought like, this is a marketing genius. That's exactly what I told him. And so can you tell us a little bit more about how this came about? And was it really a marketing trick, or was it just you trying to fit in the best way you could and, with what you had?
Being a club kid is not, it might sound genius to do if you do that kind of fashion, it might sound genius. It's not a marketing trick. It's just being a club kid is making your own outfits to go to clubs. So I think, and of course I was going in that kind of position in fashion. I didn't know I was going to make a fashion collection whatsoever. So for me, it just flew naturally. So I was doing my outfits to go to club, and little by little people were asking to buy it or like to rent it whatsoever, going on shoot and stuff. So I didn't plan on making a fashion collection.
But what came first, the performance?
The club kids.
But what came first, the performance?
Performance.
Or the clothes, or was it...
No. The clothes came first.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not finding anything in the supermarket. In the the aubergine and the tomato section. Now in the shops, I was not finding anything, and I wanted to create an alter ego that was a creature. Like I was like, this is so boring. Like up in the clubs, and I just started making my outfits and creating my own shape. And I was inspired, of course, by fashion on the side. I loved my fashion inspiration, my queen, whatsoever. So everything made sense. And I was like, let me create this out of the world kind of creature. Then the whole collection came about after.
Okay. And so we're talking now because the next clip I want to show is the one that we talked about with Vlad. That was your first collection. But so the stuff that we're seeing here, is this actually from your first fish, collection?
Yeah.
Or was there also some pieces, before that led up to your first collection?
Ooh, there's actually collections that are not out anywhere. Actually, my sister actually owned a jacket and she took it to Zurich, which
Is it the red one? Or
no. It's a white python jacket and she owns it. It's the most disgusting jacket I've ever made, but it was leading up to that moment where those clothes are fully finished inside whatsoever. But I think also Dana, one of my friends, has one of those jackets also.
Okay.
It's like the prototypes of who I was going to become.
You say Dana now, but I saw a clip of you walking in the streets with Dana. What was that all about?
That was a long time ago also. I think that was
I'm trying to find things
in that clip, you can find the jacket. That's the jacket.
Okay.
So we were both wearing. Okay. She's wearing. So she ordered it. In one of the parties, she was like, "Can I buy one from you?" So I made her one. But I'm wearing also the prototype of what was going to become the Judassime little shoulder jacket.
Okay.
So I think that it's unlined, it's unfinished whatsoever. In the clip, you don't see it, of course. It was, but I think it was also filmed by Vlad. That video.
Do you want to see it? Do you want me
Why
to
not?
Do you want because then we can?
I love that video. It was quite a lot of views. We were revolutionary up here.
And so this was also filmed by Solovov then.
That was from Vlad, yeah.
I don't know why I say Solovov. It sounds cooler, I suppose.
Look at the jacket. Look at her.
So this is pre-collection one then.
That was pre-collection, pre-everything. The makeup was rough. Everything is rough. It looks like I have toilet paper on my head, but that's just bandages. I was too lazy to paint my head until the end. And look at us. We're just having a good time. I think it was during COVID. We were asked to do a podcast on this channel from a friend of ours back then. And everything was going around DJs making podcasts at home, but the videos were so boring. They were just in their living room or at her or whatsoever in Berlin. And we were like, this is so boring. We were like, we are the kids of the new generation. Let's just have fun in the street because everyone is locked inside. You cannot go out. Okay, whatsoever. Let's go on the street and dance on the street. So we just took a little speaker with Vlad and Dana, and then we just went on the street and danced for like an hour and a half. Breaking our feet on the heels.
I think I'm not sure, but I think I heard some kind of interview around it or after or during it. I don't know. But there was something about the first time being in public like that and carrying the makeup, carrying these clothes. And
it's the first time I did the white face also.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
It's absolutely the first time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What made you decide to do that one? Because it looks really similar to what you're wearing today, actually. Where did it come from?
It's the original kind of cat eye blackface.
There is like you have inspiration from a certain image that's already there, on the internet, or where are you getting this from?
No, it's just in makeup. When you find a shape that looks good on your face, you kind of keep that shape. It's like a kind of a signature face.
Okay.
So you have the cat eye works really good on me. Sometimes I used to do kind of Cenobite, kind of with deformed and stuff, or fairy kind of thing. But I moved on from that, and I just love a cat eye. It makes me look amazing, and I love it.
Is it an inexperienced sort of thing for me to say who doesn't know anything about makeup? Maybe if you're in the fashion world, is it a very? Would they ask you the same question? Or would you be like, oh yeah, okay, no, it makes total sense. They wouldn't.
No, it's just a very. It's the cat eye. When you do an eyeliner, is kind of the shape you always do. It makes your face go up.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's kind of the thing that even if you don't do white face whatsoever, it's kind of everyone, even the girl. It's like the tiny cat eye. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. But
we extend it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It was just in a little neighborhood in Antwerp. We didn't know what the fuck to do, and we're wearing the jackets. So the jacket that led up to Judassime, the brand.
And she still wears it to this day?
I don't think so. It's in her closet. I've seen it when she moved. But we don't really wear it because we have other clothes that are better looking now.
Fair enough. I mean, your taste also changed.
Yeah, the taste changed. And I think she would still wear... I would never wear mine ever because look, if I can wear this, I'm not going to wear that anymore.
Fair enough. Let's go to the next clip, which is the one that I showed with Vlad last time.
Yeah, it was a very interesting experience. I think I've got I wanted to have that deadline with the Fashion Academy thing and whatsoever.
Can you just quickly re-explain it for the ones who didn't listen to the previous podcast?
I got refused many times by the Fashion Academy. Like, I think I did it 2 or 3 times whatsoever. They told me I would have nothing to do in fashion whatsoever. So I started Club Kid, then it led to my first collection, then it led to that movie. Once I knew the collection was going to be finished, it was approximately March, somewhere there. I knew June was going to arrive with the Fashion Academy. I was getting attention online. I was
June means like when they close off and they do a show at the end of the year.
And then their master exhibition in Antwerp. And I was getting attention online, and I was like, I love to say a good fuck you to the people that did me wrong. Don't get me wrong, but I don't hold grudges, but I love to have a little twist day over here. So I was like, what about just pulling the show? Because all the attention was going on me. I had like huge magazines asking me for interviews. And I was like, what about just doing it the day of the Academy? Which, cute, amazing. And I did that, and I had the best time at the exhibition just after the show. So I went the day after the show to the exhibition of the Academy.
Oh, really? You went?
Yeah, I went in full drag. Absolutely. I was the only one being talked about. Yeah, that was my point. Anyway, they told me I couldn't do it, and now they're just loving what I'm doing. And that's my whole point. Also, I couldn't fit in that school. It's just not what I do in fashion.
So are you happy in the end that
I love it.
That happened that way?
They gave me a gift to not go in that school.
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I would have fighted every year to make myself being understood. This looks a bit fetishy whatsoever. It doesn't fit in the Fashion Academy of Antwerp, and every school has a different vision. At that moment, I didn't understand that. I was like, fuck you, you don't understand me. But now they're loving what I'm doing. I'm at every party that they are, and who is being talked about? Well, me.
We were talking before the podcast for a minute, and you got invited to do a talk in front of a university.
Yes.
And we talked about the full circle thing, which is just too great.
It's crazy.
Tell us about this.
It's crazy that I just come from being rejected all the time to being stood up on a stage where I'm talking to master students in fashion whatsoever in Belgium, in Amsterdam, or I did it in France also once, and I have interns from all over the world that are coming just to get a little bit of my knowledge, which my knowledge is a self-based knowledge. I learned everything on my own. I did everything from A to Z on my own.
Oh, this brings me to a question. Can you actually really teach what you do? Because it's so specific. Like I wonder about this because you have a gift, right? And you say compared to your sister, you have a vision.
Yeah.
You cannot give your vision.
You cannot teach vision. No, you cannot.
And if people have vision, they have their own vision, right? Yeah. What would you say in front of that audience of people who are at the academy, learning?
That you cannot buy creativity. If you don't have it, don't do it. Please don't do fashion. If you're forcing yourself to take inspiration from other people because that's the only thing that feeds you, don't do it. That's not going to make you any good of a designer. That's not going to do it for you. You're just going to be a dying designer. You're just going to realize one day that it's not made for you, because creativity doesn't come from a paycheck or a school or a teacher. You cannot teach that. You can teach options of making yourself being creative. Yes. Like something that triggers you, books, history, whatsoever. Buying creativity, impossible.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. So if you're forcing yourself to be on a Pinterest board, don't do it. It's not worth it, because fashion is so difficult to do. The amount of hours you have to put and the amount of knowledge you have to... I have to do several jobs at the same time, from pattern making to administration to everything. Being a fashion entrepreneur these days of age, it's so difficult that if you struggle with creativity, don't do it. That's the first thing. The most difficult thing is to create. Mm-hmm. The rest is all just technicals. If I had a team behind me, I would be ripping these runways apart, which I don't have at the moment because... times will tell, of course. But if I have a full team like Dior has, I would be ripping those fashion weeks apart. I have the amount of creativity that a good creative director would be in a fashion house. And I believe that. So you'll be ready when I have the budget for it. Because, no, but for real, like I have boxes of drawings and concepts that are waiting to be...
You brought them? Did you forget them, or did you have them?
I don't have a... But I have pictures, maybe.
Okay, but you know what we'll do? Yeah. We'll put them. I'll put them on the podcast itself afterwards.
But I have like huge boxes of drawings and concepts that are waiting to be blown.
Yeah, I really wanted to see it because what I wanted to do, at least later in the podcast, is when we talk about your 4 collections, I wanted to compare because what I want to know about you is like you talk about your vision. I also have a vision, so I understand.
Yeah.
And I want to see when it comes out of your head and then when it becomes real.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see the gap. And
Huge.
when I looked at some of your drawings and I thought like,
yeah, but
the gap doesn't seem that big, and that's what I want to know. Like I feel like when the smaller the gap is between what comes out of your head and what you make, the more clear your vision is. Right?
Yeah, but I think in fashion, I mean, at least fashion drawing, the gap for me is big because I don't put any texture, neither colors, neither anything of that on my drawing. So it can, like, for the moment I'm working on a silhouette, and the fabrics that I'm using are totally different from what I'm used to. So it came out totally different, beautiful whatsoever. I'm really surprised by the difference. But it's very different because sometimes I use patterns or like stuff that are totally different from reality. And I sketch very 2D, very alien-esque, black and white.
So like they call them silhouettes, right?
Yeah.
But I'm imagining it more like you're focusing on shape.
Yeah.
Rather than texture then. So you see a shape and then when it comes to real life, the texture is like the details, like what fills in the vision or something. Is that how you see it? Yeah,
and I always give myself the benefit of the doubt and just I draw something and I'm like, just let's see what's going in 3D. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'm not sure about what's going to happen in 3D. And I always have the good thing that sometimes, like in fashion schools, they do way too much drawings and they make the drawing look better than the silhouette itself.
Okay, interesting.
Fashion is supposed to be about clothes, not the drawing. If you're better at drawing, then go in illustration, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my drawing look worse than the silhouette, which is the surprise of like, the clothes look so good. Mm-hmm. Because the drawing was like, it's for me, the drawing is more of an instruction of what to do.
Okay.
More than, it has to look perfectly of how it's going to look in real life.
If you don't think about 3D and not necessarily think all the way through in texture, how do you think about light? Because you told me something really interesting on the phone, which is that for you, fashion is like kind of like a collection of many different things. When you create an outfit, you have the lighting, but you also have how you wear it. So you have like the kind of the show that goes with it. You have the outfit, you have the texture, you have everything. Do you think about light when, like, so you envision this person walking down the runway with this outfit?
Yeah.
Do you think about how it reflects? Is it shiny? Is it matte? Like, do you think about this as well? How it looks in 3D, not maybe on paper, but like I
look at about not light per se, but movement. Movement.
Okay.
I mean, fashion is movement. You have to wear it. You have to move in it. You have to the whole perspective of being a persona. And like when they go down my catwalk, my models, I give them all like a little briefing of who they are in the story, because there's always a little storytelling.
Yeah.
So I give them a briefing of what is the silhouette about, to just give them if it's dark, if it's happy, if it's very upbeat, if you have to walk fast, slow, dramatic, whatsoever. There's always that. So I think movement is the most interesting thing for me. When you have a fabric moving like a little...
Yeah.
Movement is the most important in fashion, I think. When you look about all the like signs of like what you're looking at, light, of course, is important. I used to look at light more when I was that age, because vinyls and light and lasers and stuff were really working together nicely. I don't look at it anymore because I moved on from that perspective of fashion.
Okay.
I love it still, but I think I'm moving to another perspective more, because I still feel like, not in the bad way of saying it, but this is more cheap in the way of vinyls and the fake letters and all of that. It's a bit like cheaper made and looking. So I think I'm going more into like a god thing, even if it's trashy and stuff, more expensive, more like luxurious looking.
Okay.
It is still looking luxurious, the house, but but yeah, I think like that was my club kid year. That's the thing I told you also. Every collection is going to be so different. There is a thing in me that wants to explore every side of me.
Yeah.
So every side of me is going to come out little by little. This was my party years, club kid, very bloody, very like, rage, rebellion. And then there's more. There's the couture. Like my second collection was only about couture, about this dramatic experience of being abused behind the scene. This very Marilyn Monroe couture thing, very monstery, like the fucking mask, the hair coming out of the mask, something disturbing but beautiful. The third collection was all about being We're not doing that right now.
let's do exactly what you're saying, but let's do it a little bit more structured. I suggest that we talk about your 4 collections and how they're linked to each other, what's the storytelling behind it. But before we go there, we need to talk about darkness.
Okay, let's go.
Because we were talking about creativity just before, and I'm sorry again to interrupt you. We were talking about creativity and what you would be telling the students at the academy. And obviously you get creativity from the dark side. And I want to dive very deep into the darkness.
Well, dark has, I think when it's that deep inside of me and that's powerful in my creativity, I think that has just been pushed on me since day one. As I told, trauma, every experience in my life was dark. So I didn't choose that part of me to be dark. It just happened to be. And that's why everyone tells me, like, Benjamin, why is it so BDSM? There was always like a BDSM edge to it. I didn't choose that. And I actually don't see it myself. Of course, if I look at the perspective of it, of course, it looks a bit like fetishy, the BDSM.
It's just the leather, which has connotation, right?
I really don't choose that because it's just like a love for me. I love that aesthetic and I love that. So I'm drawn into like this very like painful looking thing, or like this, because it's the way I see the world. I think it's the only way I see the world. I see the world as something a bit like more dark, and that's why it brings me so much light when I see models wearing it and feeling themselves, so that my darkness has a purpose to give power back. Like all the pain that were made in those garments whatsoever, it has the power to give that power back when other people that don't have the same story as me put it on and be like, oh, I feel so good. And I'm like, oh, that's why I also started fashion. It's the whole thing of like, I cannot give that power back to myself. I'm in pain, but if someone makes me believe that they're happy, then it makes me happy too.
Are you still in pain?
Every day. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I don't define happiness.
That doesn't mean you're in pain, right?
No, not in pain, like full.
Because I do the same as you. Like I kind of give up on the idea of constant happiness. Like unless you take ecstasy, you can't get there. I think happiness is something that you are a state you're in sometimes. Like you have different emotions, and sometimes you're happy and sometimes you're not. But you cannot keep it as a constant all the time, right?
But I'm never really happy for like the past 5 years of my life. So there's never like a state, even like some of my friends were like, Benjamin is really up, down. And it's like ADHD and all of like autism and stuff. I'm used to it now. So I live with it.
So it's kind of like
it's kind of a thing of like, there's no medication to it. Like, like it's like the thing, like when I had like diagnosed with ADHD and autism also, it's just, there's no medication. You just have to live with it. That's all. And you'll do day by day by being like, okay, I'm just going to take life another way. And that's just how it's going to be for the rest, not for the rest of your life, of course, because I am still a positive person and I see brightness at the end of the tunnel. But it is what it is for the moment. Okay. I'm still deep down in like trauma experiencing. So I think for the moment, I'm still like recovering from a lot of things. But I'm happy about being a CEO and having my own brand, and that power that I'm telling, like when I do all of these shows and I see the models texting me back and seeing that power got given to someone else and they make me feel good about it. I love that. I feed myself from that.
Let's navigate your trauma. So
let's go.
I'm going to go to your website now and we're going to compare your different collections, because I want to go through each story. We don't have to delve into it too long, but so maybe we can start with the collection we just saw, and then tell us like what state of mind you were in, what you were trying to tell, what you were trying to show the public, what you were trying to get out of it, and we'll do that with every collection until we land on the last one. Is that cool for you?
That's fab.
Okay, so we're starting here
with 2021.
There we go. And so I'm going to give the iPad to you because you can scroll and show me things and click things.
Okay, what do I have to say?
So just
the experience?
Just take us through maybe your favorite pieces, or like from what I understand, every single piece has a particular story. And
Yeah.
every collection has a story. And it's a
Yeah.
little bit the same that I'm doing with the podcast.
Uh-huh.
So take us through whatever it is that you want to tell us about this particular collection.
Okay, so this collection was my rebellious phase of so the collection is called If We Were Made of Meat. So I was like, fuck humanity, everything is rotten. So what if the meat industry, what we're experiencing at the meat industry, what if humans were becoming the meat of tomorrow? So I transformed every silhouette into like this creature of like the animal that we could eat tomorrow. Everyone can be the meat of tomorrow whatsoever. Which you can see in this dress, which is a ligament dress, which is a very important one in this collection, which is representing the female body that got cut up in pieces like a cow. You know, like when you're on the menu in a restaurant, it's like the cow and you can choose like the little part of the cow. That got happen, and it's all ligaments of the...
Does it have to do something with like your idea of what the fashion world means, or what it means to, you know, or the female body, or how it's used in like in commercials, or like there's not necessarily only the sort of vegan part of it, or like, or the meat eating part of it.
Yeah,
but
no, it's a way darker side of that. I think every human being should be eaten alive and should be dying. I would give my body also. I think everyone should be. We've been fucking up with the planet so hard that I think that collection was the rebellions of me being like, everyone should die. We've been fucking up. Like humans, we're fucking up with everything. So let's be the meat of tomorrow. I don't see the point of eating meat. Like, I'm not a vegan person myself. I am vegetarian. I don't eat meat, but I'm not vegan. But that was my rebellious of being like, fuck everyone be on the menu. So I'm not a cannibalist neither. Like, let's be clear with that. But yeah, that was just my fuck you to like being like so woke and aware about meat. And yeah, I just created like creator that are everything as like a piece of body. There's like the excuse, every like name like excuses the axe, like we've been killing people. Like the sleeves are reminding you like of an axe kind of shape. There's a scarabee, there's the flesh. So this is a funny piece actually, because this got printed. So it's a Yves Klein inspiration from he used to take women's and put them in like blue paint and then brush the floor with their body. Yeah, like if the woman was a paintbrush, or if the body could
like
be
sort of live acts or something, exactly. Live performance.
Yeah, and I wanted to take that back and paint a corset with the body of one of my friends. So I dunked her in fake blood and printed the corset. Yeah, I printed her on the corset.
Oh wow!
So this is the print of her body on the corset.
Okay.
And then there's I mean,
take us to Snakey, because this one is the one that
one of the iconic ones.
Yeah,
this is one of the iconic ones, and I've been wearing it to clubs a lot. So this was back in the days. It used to be the Judassime silhouette. I used to wear that all the time in performance, in clubs whatsoever, and it was just a body made out of snake. It's just visually very interesting. Also, yeah, it is a very McQueenish kind of silhouette also. And it's like an overlaid, like very skinny pants, very cunty, very like skinny and snaky. She's very vicious. She has a lot of venom. And I think the most...
Yeah, before you continue, I just want to hear a little bit about the nails.
Oh, the nails.
Because you were telling me about pointy looks in the beginning of your collection, less pointy looks at the end. And so can you take us, the nails are really symbolic in this stage, right?
The nails and also the shoulder. If you look at the shoulder used to be very like, these ones are very pointed. They're pointed out. Mm-hmm. So there is something more like the nails, even like the nails on the jacket itself are very sharp. Everything was sharp, and there's an evolution in my brand where I used to be very sharp and very like dangerous, where years by years I got to be romanticizing a little bit. So everything rounded up a bit. It is sometimes still violent, but still there's the blood, there's sharpness of the nails, there's like this very claw thing, there's the shoulder super pointy, the waist tiny, the things coming out. It's very sharp looking, which tells me that there's a lot of rage, and there's like this spikiness. The skirt is super spiky on the bottom. Like there's always this very axy and sharp knife to it, which rounded up through the years. The shoulders are a bit like less. There's more texture, there's fluffiness, there's a bit, even if it's very still out there, there is a bit more roundness. I think that was very, the most dangerous kind of looking collection. And the most dangerous of them all, the Thousand Saints, which is, I think, to this day, one of the best Judassime look ever made.
Okay.
Because it's not visually something I would redo whatsoever, but it defines Judassime to the most. This look is the definition of Judassime. It's the full body picture of like a dangerous lady that got cut up in pieces and put back together, and she's wearing her own skin. It's like, if you look at it, it's like the whole anatomy of a body. I mean, you cannot really see it like perfectly.
Can you zoom in and tell me a little bit more about it?
So it's the full anatomy of a body. So I took like the scan of a body of a woman, and I made the patterns out of it. So the jacket and the skirt is made out of 120 patterns. So it's tiny little pieces that got cut up together.
A pattern is like a prefab shape or something that you end up putting together, like a puzzle or something.
Exactly. So it's like basically like an architecture. So I put them together, and then it makes a volume. So there's the tits, there's the abdomens, everything is an anatomical illusion. On the skirt, you cannot really see it.
Did you have to make it like, so you said you took photos of a woman, like, is that the same?
It's a scan body,
But is it the same woman wearing it because she only...
Oh, that's me wearing it.
Ah, that's you, because like, if you make it to a certain shape, like who does it fit? Like who wears it to...
no, it's just an illusion. So like in fashion, we take an illusion and we put it on clothes and we make a story out of it. So that's just an illusion of a woman's body. Of course, it's not perfectly the proportion of a woman whatsoever, but it's the idea of cutting the body and putting it back into a suit. So it's like this very violent idea of cutting off a body and then putting it back onto a suit, and you can wear it on an everyday basis. So that was the most dangerous looking, and also the story. I mean, you can see a bit more. The curves, it's all... You cannot see it. If you had it in real life, you could see it. But all the cuts are made in like the all the muscles and all the... So every cut is made for the muscles to be shown.
Wow, so you're like on anatomy-wise...
It's an anatomy kind of
Anatomy-wise,
suit.
you are quite aware of what's in the human body. Like...
I had to study it for that fucking piece to come alive. No,
Okay.
I had to read all the books. I mean, not all the books, but I looked at a lot of pictures of like different scans of bodies and anatomy to make that suit come alive. And yeah, the whole collection actually is shot on me. So that comes back to my club kit era. There's no models. It's just me.
Yeah. So when did that change? Because I'm looking, and at first I wasn't thinking, and I thought like, oh yeah, you have different models because that's what you do now. But this is all you.
That's just me.
So when like
it was a very intense day.
I can only imagine.
But that makes the story, I think, even stronger as a club kid, is that I used myself because at that moment of time, I only saw myself wearing my stuff. And those clothes were coming with me on tour and on stage. So it only made sense that I was wearing it during the shoot. Yeah. In the later life, when you're a designer, you see clothes on so you project on other people your vision. Okay. You start dressing people. This is just dressing myself. So the difference with other collection is that at the end of the day, I'm here to dress the next generation, another woman, a man, whatsoever. I'm dressing another person than myself. So then there's a lock that got unlocked. When I knew that I was going to do more than one collection, I started looking for people that I would dress.
When did you know? So you made this, right? When did you know like this is becoming something? Because every like collection that you do, or like every stage in your process, you need sort of like something that tells you like, okay, maybe there's more. Maybe I can do more. And like, what was it for you in this one that kind of like, you came from the club kid who did just the few vests that you or can I call it vest, or what should I call it?
Jackets.
Suits. And so you made that, and then you moved on, and like you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna try to do... You're checking the camera, aren't you?
I was like looking rough, taking that sip of...
Maybe I should put the screen on the other side. No, but so yeah, like what was, I'm curious, what was the kind of the shift between season 1 and season 2?
I mean, there's a thing in me that I love fashion so much that there's nothing in me that would do another job than I am doing right now. So it's or fashion or I die. So it's a ride or die with me in fashion. So I knew after the first collection, there's going to be a second collection. There's going to be another chapter of me. The story I didn't know whatsoever. So I go into, of course, my own psychological self. And I'm like, I told my story for the first collection. What can I tell about myself on the second collection? Which the second collection is based on abuse. and I linked that with the old Hollywood. So everything that was behind curtains, the glamorization of it all. Everything that is so glamour. Everyone is on the red carpet. Marilyn Monroe, Marlene Dietrich, all of them icons that we had in the old Hollywood are on the red carpet. But then there's the dark side of old Hollywood where men were abusing women over and over again for having contracts, being raped, whatsoever. And that related a lot to my story of like being misunderstood and abused when I was young. So I linked these two historical and relevant stories for me, and I made The Wrong Deal, which is my second culture collection, which was made out of 15 looks that were supposed to be 15 finally looks. So I wanted the whole collection feel like it's always the end of a collection. So every look is a finally look. So when you have a collection, normally there is always like a peak look that is the final of the collection. And I wanted that collection to be only finally looks. So every look is the end of a collection.
Okay, I'm having so again, like I am inexperienced in the world of fashion, right? So like I'm having a little bit of a hard time wrapping my head around final look.
So at the end of every collection, there is, so the collection is made, most likely every designer is showing a collection that is most likely ready to wear kind of looking.
Okay.
And then at the end of a show, there is a bride or a finale look that would wrap up the whole history, the story of the collection in a very extreme look.
The mind-blowing
it's
one.
Like it's very it's the end of the collection. It has to be like the mind-blowing one, or sometimes when it's a couture collection, it's the bride. So it's always the look that is like when you get married. It's the most beautiful look of the collection whatsoever.
Okay.
So I wanted that collection to feel like it's always the end of a collection. So you have it's very like old Hollywood inspired, but there is still the mask. So that woman that I got abused so many times she's still masking herself. You can see most of the looks are masked. So there is like this sequin monster. Like all of the names also have like a lot of consequences. So there's the sequin, but it's a monster of sequin, but there's consequences. So
I have a quick question, because I of course did some research about you, and so if I'm not mistaken, this was still like somewhere at the end of the Corona period, and correct me if I'm wrong, huh?
Yeah.
And so being locked up. And so those like you decided to use a lot more masks in this collection. And was this kind of also this kind of feeling of being locked up?
No.
Or
I mean, locked up in a situation where you don't want to be. Yeah, it had nothing to do with Corona whatsoever.
Yeah, but the period does inspire you anyhow, right?
Yeah. It's like when you're masked, there's something. I mean, it's always kind of like a dark thing, or you want to hide something, or you're forced to be masked. Like I think the most important look of that collection is those two ones actually that are following each other. It's Temptation, which is one that I got an interview from one of the men that was saying that when women are discovering themselves, they're asking to be raped. So I made that dress out of that, of showing the woman body. Almost the nipple is out, almost the curves of the body are showing everything that could be attractive to the man. And everything, like the cut is so close to like the genitals. Everything is so on the verge of being like, fuck you. I'm not asking to be abused because I'm showing my body. So that is Temptation. And then Tied Up, which is a color scheme that was an obsession of mine. And then the fan lacing, which is a technique that comes from the 40s and the 50s, also from that period of time, which is the buckles that are wrapping around with all this lacing. That's one of the techniques of the 40s.
Can I ask you something that is really, I don't understand how you do it, which is, how do you choose the final position of the model? Because it's the thing that empowers or disempowers, the whole look, and like how she's acting, or how do you
I don't
debrief the person, like, or like how does the shoot go, maybe, or you told me earlier you tell them like a little bit of a story.
Oh yeah,
but I need to know like how the final position comes, and like how do you know, like, okay, this is the image I will put online, like how do you see that, how do you make it happen?
Yeah, for this one it was actually very natural. So all the models are just acting as they are. It's just the clothes giving them the power, so there's no briefing. This shoot has no briefing.
Really?
The beautiful Dirty Rich, the look 9 here, She was actually just helping on the shoot, and one of the models didn't came, so she jumped in the clothes and made the shoot. It was a very good friend of mine, Ursula. And she just went on the shoot. She's not a model herself, but I made her model, and she felt beautiful. She felt cunty as fuck, and she's there in underwear, serving the look. So most of it was really...
Yeah, she really owns it. Like,
Yes.
but that's I'm impressed.
But
I
that's the
suppose.
power of the clothes that... I mean, there's a lot of designer, but I'm making clothes that even when you put it on, you feel like you can own the world. So that's why it's so smooth in the picture making and stuff. Those two looks, I'm wearing it. So half of the collection I'm wearing, half I'm not. So I was still modeling back then because I didn't have the budget for like a lot of people whatsoever. But a lot of them are friends of mine.
So you were shifting in this new collection. You were shifting between okay, I'm
Yeah.
not doing everything myself
Yeah.
anymore.
And I'm
need
dressing
people.
someone else. Yeah, exactly.
How did you manage financially, or like you just said? Actually, I think you answered half my question, which is like these are some of your friends, so like you don't have to pay anyone yet.
Everyone is doing it for the community.
But you do make the switch to like, okay, I want to put it on other people. So you're changing slowly towards I dress other people now.
Yeah. I do value everyone's time, and I want to pay everyone fairly. Though at that time I didn't have the clothes. Look at the clothes. They could be made of thousands and thousands of hours. So I didn't have the budget whatsoever for more than what I had already done. So people were doing for the community, and that's what blows my mind still to this day. Even the Paris show that we did, some people showed up and they were really famous and did it for my brand. Not because there was a paycheck behind it whatsoever. They did it for me. And that's what I love about community, because I will do that to the people that I believe in also. And I will do it for free too. Like, if you believe in something, please do it for the good sake of it. Like, you don't have you have to value time for everyone. Everyone has to be paid whatsoever, because we live in a time where everyone and everything belongs with money. So I value everyone's time, and I value my time also. But if it's for something really good and you believe in it, do it.
What's the community? Like, how do you define the community? And how do you define, like you say, they did it for the brand, like, or the community. Like, what am I missing here? What is it all for?
For me, at least, I can talk for myself. It's that the people that give me something for free, or like a shoot for free or something, if my brand works out, they will get back from it. There's no way I will forget those people, because those people are so important. They build it who I am, and they give me that extra day of their life for free for giving it to me and being on those posters and stuff. It gives them a good image and something, but I don't pay with copyrights, and I don't pay with the fucking bullshit of, you're going to be in a magazine. No, I don't do that.
You don't pay with credits.
I don't pay with credits. Yeah. I hate that fucking thing.
I hate it so much too. In the nightlife, it's all they pay with.
What do you mean you pay me with credits? Credits doesn't pay anything. I do give them the saying of, you give me a good deed one day. If my brand blows out and I have millions of money, you will get back from it. Absolutely. If you don't shit behind my back since that day, if you're still a good person to me, you will get back. And I tell them, all of them.
I don't think that's why they do it, because you say something that I really care about, which is community.
Yeah.
And I have a very specific idea of what it is.
But that's where community also builds, I think.
But what is your community? And is it your community, or are you part of a larger community? Is it fashion? Is it where
freaks?
Okay, go on. Like, please define it. I want to know.
I think my community is more like the people that are outsiders, like the ones that don't belong in the norms, the societal norm. So the ones that are like, even if they look a bit like, you don't have to look freaky. You don't have to look like this to be in my community. I mean, the community is based on, you don't belong in something that is normal saying.
Sure.
So you can look whatever way you want, and you just feel like you are belonging with the people that you belong. It's just a natural thing. So I think community comes natural, and it's like a freak kind of zone where we're all laughing. Nothing is we're all understanding each other. It's an understanding and a trust community. It's more like that. Yeah.
You said something to me on the phone, which I found interesting, which was that your collection or collections, they sell by emotion.
Yeah.
And so I think that kind of makes a link with this community. Like, perhaps you are becoming the voice of an unheard community.
That's the whole point of my brand. Yeah, I think Judassime is the brand that is going to talk for the untalked. Everything that is untalked and taboo, I will talk about it. And all of these people, they do feel like they belong in somewhere in that brand. I think they are not doing it just because they could wear gorgeous garments whatsoever, but I think they do belong in somewhere of my brand where they've been touched by that moment of their life, and it reminds them that they can take back that power. So when they wear those clothes and they do those shoots, and I give them that power to be beautiful and look gorgeous and being on a picture, that gives them back something in them, probably in their past or something. And that's where all the communities belonging. I think we're all experiencing something very different, but we all belong in the same state of mind also.
That's what I wanted to hear.
But yeah, that collection, as far as I know, I mean, even if I did like other collections after that, it is my most pushed technical collection.
Okay.
I've touched techniques, and like the one on the right, the Flower of Desire. It is everything is made by hand. So the lace that you're seeing on the black satin is it's calculated to all be hand stitched. So the lace was not on the satin before. I placed every flower of that fucking lace on the satin, and everything is hand stitched to be invisible, like it belongs on the satin. So everything is hand stitched. It's thousands of hours of hand stitching. And then on top of that, there's a structure inside of metal that is being held for being like that weird flower thing.
Okay.
It's like a full like boning channel structure that is inside of the skirt, where weighs tons. That skirt is so heavy.
How much are we talking about? Like 10
to 15 kilos. Yeah. And then the hair are like 5 meter long leather hair. There's the mask that comes back with the lace, and everything is riveted and laced to the gods. And I'm wearing it.
Because this is you?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the only one. Like when I know there's no, I mean, at that state, I knew that the models could wear some stuff, but they couldn't tell the story that I wanted from that silhouette. I had to wear it myself because when I create it, I know the story that has to be told. So of course, some models had to be like Margaret. She was in one of the other looks, but if I put her in this, she would be lost.
Okay.
So that's what I'm telling is like, when I know exactly what the story has to be told and the models are not going to be on the level that I want them to be, I don't want to put them in trouble that I'm going to be pissed after it.
So you have some people knowledge.
Yeah.
Or a good feeling with it at least.
I know those people before that. Yeah. So those people were friends of mine. I mean, still are. And yeah, I know them. So I know I think I learned also from the shot with Vlad that sometimes I know people, but I don't know them enough to put them in the clothes. So some of the models came on the shoot with Vlad and refused to walk some of the outfits because I saw them as like very like unapologetic and fearless people. And for me, they were like the it girls. Mm-hmm. And then they saw the production. It was very intimidating. Like you see a production, you see a lot of people, you see cameras, you see a runway. And then suddenly they were like super shy. And I was like, oh. Then another person revealed to me. I was like, I thought you were like this unapologetic, like fearless girl. But then they were like, I don't feel like doing it.
Is it because you didn't know them personally?
No, I knew them super good.
Oh.
But then, of course, it's intimidating when you arrive in a room full of 40 people that are nowhere to be found. Like, you don't know those people. There's 40 people, there's 10 cameras looking at you. And it is intimidating. But yeah, sometimes you know that the people, you have to put them in clothes that they belong to. And it is intimidating to be in front of the cameras and stuff.
But moving forward, like, do you still nowadays work together with people that you know had like from before, or do you work with new people? Because that's where the whole touchy feeling thing comes. Like, you don't want any surprises, right? So like, if you don't know someone, how long before that the actual show goes on do you have to meet them in order to create a bond? Or like, can take us through a little bit these bonds that you create in order to feel if they are the right person for the right silhouette? Because I think a lot of the designers go through this. There's a very particular selection for every single designer. Yeah. How does your selection go nowadays?
Well, nowadays I don't know any of my models.
Okay.
Until 2 days before the show. Okay. So there's no connection whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There's some of them. Shift. I mean, like, yeah, because fashion weeks don't work. They work really differently than back then when I had the time to make the shoots, to know the people. This was really like community work. I was doing it for myself, just to put myself out there. Now Fashion Week so works totally different. I make a collection. It's an industry. I make a collection. I have to cast hundreds of people to put in my clothes. I have to fill the people on the day itself. The 2 days before the show, I have to cast the people. So I don't know anyone. I just see the face and how they walk.
Does it stress you out? Or
I love it.
Okay.
No, I love
Fair
the stress because then it reveals I get connection with those people. So of course I don't know them before the show, neither after the show. But if it really works out, like some of them I still talk to, and some of them are going to be in my next shows, and then I build a connection that is based on the fashion industry, how it works in the fashion. Then I'm going to build my models. Then I'm going to build da.
Which will help you also make think about new silhouettes based on certain people. Then I suppose
But coming to the casting itself, I don't know anyone. I just know what they have to look like in the clothes, what energy they have to put in the clothes. So there are some silhouettes that were so difficult to cast people because some of them were super easy because it's silhouettes that you can play off. Like it's okay. If a person is a bit shy, you can play it off whatsoever. There are some silhouettes I had a vision of who had to be in it, and that person had to come to the casting. I was saying no to so many people. I was like, next one. This silhouette is not working out because I have a vision of who had to be in the clothes. And
it's kind of like casting an actor, right?
If they don't come to the casting, I'm fucked. Because it's 2 days before the show. What do I do? So then I prefer to not put the silhouette on the runway whatsoever.
So you may make a piece that never gets shown then. The right
or shown in somewhere else whatsoever.
Yeah.
But on the day itself of the runway, it might not be shown because I didn't find the right model.
And you don't get stressed out by this? You love it still? I would stress the shit out of me if I didn't
because
know.
Until now I got lucky with the casting we had because I have a lot of good connection with performers, burlesque girls, and all of that. So I have really good connections in the performative scene. So they know gorgeous girls with gorgeous personality, with gorgeous movements and stuff. So I've been lucky until now. Of course, it might happen that one day I'm gonna have silhouettes that might not be seeing the day whatsoever. That doesn't stress me out. It's for the next one. I prefer, and that's what I told also in Zurich Fashion Week, for example, I prefer to have the silhouette not seeing the day of the light than being badly presented. I hate something that is badly presented. If it's gorgeous looking, but it's on the wrong person, don't put it out. Don't put it out. It doesn't make the hours that I put in those silhouettes it's not worthy if it's not presented the right way. I prefer to wait. And that's what I do. If my collection is not ready, I prefer to wait for it to be ready than pressuring myself that it's in 6 months, that it has to be ready.
Is that something you learned along the way?
No, it's
the waiting and the patience of really pushing your vision to perfection.
Yeah, I'm a perfectionist, but I also do believe that I value my work and I don't want to be drained in 5 years because the industry now is telling us to every 6 months you have to show a collection.
Fast fashion.
Then it all becomes something very fast and on demand. And I don't believe that's a healthy way of taking it because if you don't have anything to tell and if you don't have a good collection, why are you showing something? That gives me the ick.
Money.
That just gives me the ick because the collection is not good enough to be shown. Everyone is looking at it. Everyone's like, oh my God, front row in the fashion show, but the fashion show is not good. Mm-hmm. What are you doing front row? Mm-hmm. There are some houses that can do it. Yes, of course. But there are some houses they're just destroying themselves because they've been changing creative director to creative director to creative director because every time they just train that person so hard that it just doesn't work out. So I think I'm going the Mugler way because Thierry Mugler used to do his show whenever he wanted. He was not showing a collection before it was finished or before it was fully a story and before it was a good collection to be shown. And I love that way of doing it because that's art. What are you going to show something that is not good?
Wait, so would you be willing, if you got away to go for your next collection to Paris, and would it be possible for you to say, fuck it, I'm not ready, I'll do it in fucking 2 months later?
Yeah.
I like
Absolutely.
that. I like that.
Absolutely.
I really like that.
And that's how I worked the first day. I did my show whenever I wanted, and I did it on the academy show. I will tell the managers of fashion weeks and stuff, I'm not ready. I'm doing it the next season whatsoever. I'll put a little capsule thing in between. That's what I did now. Actually in Zurich, I kind of recycled also half of the collection I did in Paris because I was not ready for a new one. I want my next collection to be so dramatic that I'm not ready to show it now. I'm going to show it in September. It's not going to be for now.
Let's talk about Zurich in like a little bit further when we reach your newest collection,
Yeah.
because Zurich in your timeline happens after,
After
Paris
the-
Fashion Week.
yes.
And so right now we have covered season 1 and 2.
Yes,
Sorry,
let's go to
collection 1 and 2.
Let's go to there's the ready to undress that is not that interesting. I mean, that's when I'm telling you I'm not ready, there's this kind of like tiny projects that are coming into it.
So sorry, so the third collection is for you not a...
It's not a collection for me. This is an
This is honestly, for me, my favorite.
This?
Yes. This collection made me ask a question like, what is he thinking about the face painting? Like, why did he switch it up now? And like, where is he getting this from? Why the start? Like, it's...
But that's not me, that's a friend of mine.
Yes, and I went to check him out also.
Yeah, Amar.
Or hun, them out. But that... maybe I like Pontias, the fur coat. I like the just... it's the hairstyle and it's the faces and it's the big coats and then just like for me you really took a turn on this one personally, I find it so weird that you're saying that this is like a in-between thing, but
that was an in-between thing. Yeah, that was just very like a little exercise because I used to like, if you look at the collections, there's never a pocket, neither a zipper, neither like there's not this thing of like ready to wear in the collections. So that was just an exercise of making the pockets, making a color, making something wearable. Nothing is corseted. Everything is kind of loose. Oh, this dress is corseted, but everything is kind of like...
You mean technically you're not satisfied?
No, technically I'm satisfied because it's an exercise of wearing it every day. This coat, you could wear it every day. It's not the garments from the two collections previous from this. This is a thing that is more wearable. Like the jackets are comfortable. The things are not corseted to the, like it's not super tight. It's like there's a skirt, but everything is kind of comfortable. So it was like a little exercise for me to put pockets in garments, to understand a garment how it is. Of course, there's the shoulder still whatsoever. So it's not really ready to wear, but it was more of an exercise in between two collections.
Sure. So it seems to me like you're making also an exercise in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know much about it. Again, we had a phone call before, and you told me about these ready-to-wears, and it hadn't even hit me that these collections that you make, you don't really wear them per se, or unless you are some kind of movie star or something who
red carpet.
Yes, something like that, and you just wear it uncomfortable one day, but you made a statement. So I never really made that link between non-wearables and wearables, or at least only in fashion shows that you wear them. And so what is happening in your business at this moment? Like, what year are we talking about? Is this 2024?
2024.
So what's happening in 24 in your business? And do you have to make like tickets like behind the scenes, like you're getting interns, you know, to come and work for you. You're kind of growing. There's more people. Yeah. And you're thinking more about how do I, get a return on investment. Yeah. So take us a little bit through that phase.
So this exercise was for me. I have to go into selling. I mean, obviously, when you want to do couture silhouettes all over, when you want to do this huge collection, you have to sell something to be backing you off, from rent to fabrics to whatever, to people working for you. So this was an exercise for me to be like, Benjamin, wake up. It's all creativity, all fantasy, but you have to sell something to survive. It's a forced exercise when you come from a background where you only create to create. I love just creation, but you cannot survive from just it. From waiting an order from a celebrity whatsoever. You never know when it's going to drop the huge orders from the celebrities. So I had to force myself from having this exercise, which didn't land on the right thing because I thought I was going to sell a lot, which didn't happen, which is also a good lesson again, that I was doing ready to wear. At that time for me was ready to wear, but still the shoulders are not sellable. I mean, everything is not telling me that it's really sellable to the everyday. There's too much lacing on the skirt. It's too technical.
Would you call it too niche still?
It's still it's too technical. It's too niche. It's still something that is not reach. I mean, people would buy it, yes, but the price point was also not fair because it was made in Belgium. So the price points were hitting the 1,000 euros fast because everything is made in Belgium on that collection. So the price point is not fair. I mean, it's fair for the country that it was made in, but it's just too expensive for the public that I had. Good exercise though, very good exercise, very good lessons for me to know. And I just love every experience that I had. So that collection was one of them. and it just tells me a lot about where I have to base myself, production, and everything else.
Okay, so this is the first step to becoming a more commercial Benjamin.
Yeah, and to also just open my eyes on what it is about also.
Yeah.
Like, because I've been creating fashion in a fantasy world, and this is a good slap in my face of fashion is not just a fantasy world. You also have to play the game of the cards of, it's not capitalism, but you have to play the game of, you have to make money to survive. And that's point period, that's society is made on that, so there's no surprise on that. But I was still in my little wonderland thing.
We all need to go through that phase.
Yes, which is an amazing thing, and it's good that it arrived on a point where I was still creating, not losing everything. So yeah,
that takes us to the last one,
and that takes us to the Paris Runaway.
So yes, take us through it, and then afterwards I prepared some together with you some visuals, and you have a great video which I loved as well. Completely
the video
different.
was fab, no?
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah, I didn't know that was made.
Really?
I have no idea that was made, but it's a girl that wanted to model. She didn't make it to the cast. It's a friend of one of my friend designer also, and she was just there in the crowd. Apparently, she got invited because it was from a PR agency.
Yeah.
So she got invited by the PR agency, and she was there. She did the video. 2 days later, I was still in Paris, and she gave to give me a hard drive from the friend of mine because she did the other show. And she was like, "By the way, I have a video of your show." I was like, "What do you mean?"
Let's watch it. Let's watch it.
Let's go.
Because I was watching. Of course, I'm into video, and I'm looking at it. And do you watch The Office by any chance? I don't know. It's a very popular show, and one of the things that they do is they always zoom in to people, and then they kind of like look at the camera, like they know that it's there, and then they look away, and like it's very like handheld felt, and that we're gonna see it in a minute, but like that in combination with the setting that you chose, the place, I don't know how you got it. I'm curious to hear about it. Created this very I don't know if I want to say archaic, but at least very underground, very like exactly the story that you're saying. Like there was this chick who was just filming it and doing these zooms, and it felt organic, and it felt so I don't know so much about fashion, but it felt liberating in the way that it was just not the same typical Dior show.
But also the way that she filmed, it's her style of filming. She's been filming huge stars like that. It's
she has experience in it.
She's a filmmaker.
Oh, okay.
She actually
that shows. That shows.
She actually films people like in that way.
So here it is. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because the looks are first.
There's a look.
Unless you want to talk about them, and then we
we can do the video first.
Here we go. Tell us what you see. Tell us about the location. Tell us about the show.
So this is my doll, Shinto. She's wearing one of my... And this is... Kim Pers. Hello, scammer. One of my friends, again, bringing back the community. She was performing at the end of the show. This is one of my dolls. Also, Tintin, a performer. I brought a lot of my friends and a lot of dolls. It was a trance kind of show. I love it. It's all my parm. Every model. I mean, I knew some kind of... I actually knew a lot of models. Antoniane also, I worked with her a long time ago in Paris. It was just a very underground, messy, chaotic show. The whole collection is a storytelling. It is an after-traumatic experience. When you wake up from like this dream, you've been taken away from everything you barely know. You barely know yourself. After such a traumatic experience, you barely know yourself. You have to rebuild yourself. How do you rebuild yourself? Construction of your own body. So again, we're coming back to the body, but in a different way than the first collection. I think now it's more of a build-up of like protection. So there's a motorbike element. You're like putting protection gears onto yourself again to rebuild yourself. So it's a whole deconstruction of a male wardrobe, I would say, and a whole deconstruction of yourself to rebuild yourself again. It's a proud moment of...
The shoulders are still there.
The shoulder, some of them, yeah. And
is that like signature Judassime?
Yeah, I love shoulders. It gives a lot of like intensity in the silhouette. When someone
almost royalty or something.
But also you just stand, and even if you stand on the same level as the other person, if you have a high shoulder, it makes them feel tiny. it's like this thing of like the high shoulder just makes you look like you're like.
Does it come from like epaulette, like from in suits you have like you kind of square off?
Yeah. So the high shoulder is a pagoda shoulder. It comes from like a historical. I think it was Balenciaga or Yves Saint Laurent that did it the first, or Balmain. It's a pagoda shoulder. So the pagoda shoulder takes the suit and brings it back up.
Okay.
So it's like it gives like that silhouette of like I'm high. The shoulders are higher. But I took it even further. I think like these days there's a lot of designer like recommends and stuff taking it further. So we are bringing it even more up than the pagoda shoulder itself. But it's a historical shoulder.
I see some singing or some talking.
Yes, so,
what is happening here?
No, Kim Pierce was doing the finale of the show with her song with Mathieu. So the group Scammer did the finale of the show where they performed their song Apocalypse. So there's a mines of mirror everywhere in the room. She's screaming.
Okay.
And then it was the signal for all the models to start breaking the mirrors that were on the floor. So there, it's breaking the reflection that you have of yourself or the forced reflection that someone has on you. And there's like mines of mirrors everywhere on the floor, and everyone started to just break the shit out of it.
Seriously?
And the sound of it, mirror breakings in the whole room, like you can see them running around and just breaking the mirrors. I think there's going to be a moment where you can just see them like smashing the mirrors on the floor.
Was this your idea or was it happen naturally?
No, it was my idea to break mirrors for sure.
Okay.
But it was in a collaboration with Cellulmer, that is also an artist from Paris that did all the installation products of it. So everything just starts shattering around. You can see them like snapping the mirrors.
So in a traditional fashion défilé, so you have one model that comes after another. Sometimes you can see many of them, but they're always equally spaced and it's very organized.
Yeah.
And so this chaos you created was kind of also
that's
to
only
break
at the finale.
pattern?
No, that's only at the finale.
Do they do that in other shows as well? Or
sometimes. I mean, like the show was going on models by models anyway.
Yeah.
With a different storytelling. Of course, there was like a play in the room. But at the end of the show, I told them the finale has to be just a chaos. Like you go in the room and you just break the shit out of the room. I want them to feel like they're disturbed in that room. The people watching it, they didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like the models were just breaking everything. I was in the backstage hearing all the mirror breaking. I was like, this feels so good.
It makes me think of Zoolander. I don't know if I'm allowed to make the connection.
I've never watched it.
You never watched
No.
Zoolander? It's at some point they have to kill the prime minister of Malaysia, and then they play like the song like just relax, don't do it, nah. And like then he gets into this kind of like automatic robot mode where he has to kill because he's been brainwashed.
Yeah.
And then he has to kill the prime minister, and then there's this huge fight that goes on scene. But it kind of looks like it was staged. Mm-hmm. So people are like confused, but clapping. And then something really bad happens. They're like, oh no, we're not sure if this is a show. And then like, oh yeah, now it looks again like it's a show. They're clapping again.
I love that.
And so this was a connection I was trying to make, like where the people kind of confused and then like, oh no, this is normal. Oh no, this is not.
I mean, here they obviously knew it was the show, but I do love the confusion of like, why are they breaking mirrors right now?
Yeah.
I love it. They know, like, then it makes the whole bubble. Like, maybe, like, the story that was told during the show, they didn't really understand. But then when the breaking of the mirrors, maybe they got the memo. And most of the magazines and most of the people got the memo because when I had my interviews after the show, it was right after the show, all the magazines knew about the story. So it made sense for them.
Who told the story? You or some?
No one. So I think there was a press release being told to the magazine, but still they understood while the show was happening. So that was a good like thumbs up for me.
Okay, so clear messaging.
So that was thumbs up for me because sometimes I might think something that is so clear to me, but not clear to other people. You don't know how it's gonna like impact other people. But this one was a good impact for other people. They understood clearly what was going on.
Most of the time, the designer does not walk the show.
Yeah.
And so you've always been involved in this performing, you know.
I mean, for me, just saying goodbye at the end, being in my full fantasy and stuff, it missed a point of the story because I'm telling something so personal, it missed it. So I said goodbye and I was like, there's still like, the whole story is told, the mirrors are breaking, the whole thing is good. It does miss me in the whole full thing of it all. So yeah, next runways, you're going to see me most likely in the center of it. I'm going to perform in the center of the runway, doing something amazing. No, it's going to be disturbing as fuck. But
when can we expect?
It's gonna
or does it just run together with the normal
no,
cycles?
I'm just gonna say one word is gonna be a surgery. I'm not gonna say about what kind of surgery. It might be a mental surgery, a body surgery. It doesn't have to be that deep. It's not gonna be bloody whatsoever. But the next collection is called Horns of Thorns. So it's a whole story of like when you're holding the rose, it might hurt you, but it's so beautiful that you go into this loop of illusion of like, I'm still holding it, and you hold it tighter and tighter. And it's so beautiful. You don't want to let it go, but it's so painful. You let it make you bleed.
It's a bit like the Pandora's box idea.
Yeah. And you go into that whole like lightheaded mode of like, oh my God, am I alive or am I dead?
Mm-hmm.
So the next show is going to have that perspective of life and that perspective of, I think it's a continuation of that one actually. I think it's like the full cycle. It's gonna end the story of that show.
Okay.
Where I'm gonna be waking up in a full other mode than I was.
We still didn't really dig into your, I guess, your muse, which is, your dark side.
Yeah.
And I wanted to dig a little bit deeper because even though there is evolution in how you feel, in how you think about your collections, your mindset, it seems like you're pulling out energy from the dark side.
Yeah.
And do you think that's sustainable? It's working.
I would say that I don't wish upon myself to always create from negativity and darkness. It is a thing that I'm doing. I know I will be able. I think it's like music artists. Like music artists, sometimes you prefer them when they're breaking up because they have better music. It's like they're based on that tribe of like they do the best music when they're breaking up. It's like the sad albums and all of that. I don't think I will always have that because I know I'm creative anyway. Though I don't know it yet. So I will be creative anyway. I don't know if it's going to come out.
Do you wish it? Do you wish to produce, create from the light? Or do you not care for the moment?
I love creating from something that is so sad. Which is so toxic. It's such an unhealthy balance when you have it at work. Though it makes me do the best of my job. It is the most painful. Like sometimes there's days I just don't want to be working whatsoever. I go through those days, but then I look at the work and I'm like, damn, that is beautiful. And I think it's not just the place that I'm at, it's just the reward that you have at the end. Like that reward that you were so sad, but that beauty came out. And that reward which I think is the most toxic thing of it all, is the high and low, the adrenaline of going to the highest of it because you see beauty in all of it, but then you go to the lowest because you have to go through the dark side to see the beauty. So it's that whole thing of like you go high, low, high, low, high, low, and that's so intoxicating. Mm-hmm. Like your brain is only knowing that.
But if we look at your collections, like you only have really 3 colors.
There is,
you have black, white, and red, right?
Yeah, black, white, red, and there's a lot of brownish colors in that collection also, like beige, brown.
So this is a new color. Why brown?
I love nude color, like nudie.
That's
like
for you. The color of the skin.
Yeah, I love colors like brown, nude, beige, ivory, all of that colors. Love it. That skirt is made only out of belts that are like beige, skin tone.
But here, for example, you have a completely white outfit. Yeah. And so my question is, like, the reason I ask about the colors is because you talk about from the darkness, but then you have, even your face is white. It's light. So you have light also within. Yeah. But why don't you talk about the light as well? Like I asked you about the darkness, but you could have chosen to talk about the light. Is there something you want to say about the light in you as well?
I mean, white garment doesn't mean light. It can be the most dark perspective. I think that
is that how you see white?
It doesn't give me light. It can be a very flashy thing that is very disturbing also. Sure. I think like the look that you saw that was fully white was actually a very disturbing look. It's a corporate genius. It's something that is hiding behind a mask. So BDSM. So it was all made out of bells. It's that very corporate guy that is like going to work, but he's so fucked up behind. So it is in the bright daylight light, but the story behind it is so dark.
Okay, so when you choose, like the wider the color gets, like the darker the story behind it
Not
gets, or
always,
something.
but
or?
for that one, yes.
Okay.
Not always, but for
Okay.
that one, yes. It's like the plot twist of the collection. I think it was a man in this gownish, like belted thing. That was he was the corporate guy that was making all of that happen. Like the whole storytelling was about like the corporation forcing all of this. And that guy was just fully white, neat. It's like all these businessmen that are going to work every day. They're neat looking.
You find it creepy.
All of creepy as fuck. What the fuck? They're all like super tailored, super nice, but they're so fucked up. There's something so dark behind it. Then you see all the files coming out. Like we can talk about like actually political things. The files are coming out. It's so fucked up. They were so neat looking. Why is it so fucked up behind it? It's not because it's fully white that it's that light.
I like that I went there. And yeah, now that I see this picture, like this is personally from this collection. Yeah, the shapes, like the spikes. It's the spikes that get me.
Yeah, well,
like what's the idea behind this? And then you got this like fluffy on the bottom and spiky on the top. It feels like a good balance.
Funny enough, this look was not supposed to be in the collection whatsoever. This is a last minute look. So this was made the day before the show.
And why would something be made the day before the show?
Because the spikes that you're seeing there were supposed to be with that look, so coming out of the holes of that dress. So you see the holes are made for the spikes.
Where?
The holes of the shoulders and the titties.
Yeah.
Look at the spikes.
Okay.
So the spikes were supposed to be made. So all the belts were supposed to be made for that dress. So this were supposed to, the whole top is supposed to be under that dress. So coming out of all the holes. And the skirt and the little corset of the legs was never created. I just did it last minute. It just felt right.
Okay, it wasn't even like you had to. It's just like you were.
I wanted a new look. Yeah. So that look was just like a warrior. I just wanted something so naked and so cunt.
Yeah.
I wanted nothing on her body, but still something.
But how do you feel about this? Because like I feel like I'm the perfect example of like I'm totally not in the world. But the things that attract me are the things in between your collections.
Yeah.
And apparently the last look that you didn't plan. And like, how does that make you feel? Like, because
I love it. That means
you never know what people are gonna think about your collection, right? And you have your own thing. Like,
but that also tells me that my instincts, that are the last minute instincts, are giving me like something that people love. Like this was not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be one look with that one, and the instinct of making it in one day. I didn't have time. I just stitch the thing like, okay, whatever, I'm putting fur on the black leather, on the corset. It's all attached to one belt, and then she's naked with her spikes.
Do you think you could do a whole collection of one days?
No,
it's
like I'm too perfectionist for that.
Sure, I that's why I ask you, because I would be too perfectionist
absolutely.
as well.
No, I'm good on a very like rushy base. Like if I am rushed for 1, 2, 3 things, yes, I will make them work. I cannot make a full collection out of that. I want them to be perfect. Of course, it is perfect. No, it is perfectly made whatsoever, but it's not perfectly like translated from one vision to the other.
And it's not a system. Like
it's not really a storytelling. It's just a cunty look. Yeah, it's point period. There's no story. She's just naked with spikes on her titties. That's all. There's no storytelling. So I love a storytelling. So this one doesn't give storytelling. She's still a warrior. I love to call them the warriors when they're like powerfully naked and just showing everything. So that's a warrior for me.
Okay. Let's move on to one of the last things you did. And that was last weekend, if I'm not mistaken, or just last week.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, you were in Zurich.
Yeah.
So take us through that. Like so I don't even know how it works. Like I know you have Paris Fashion Week, but maybe you have other weeks or just separate shows. But what's happening in Zurich, and why did you get invited, or how did you get invited?
No, so basically, now that Paris, London, New York, and Milan are the main fashion weeks, everyone wants to make a fashion week in their hometown whatsoever. Everyone wants to be the new fashion capital whatsoever. So I get mails every week from a new capital, Abu Dhabi. I had Riyadh, I had like Zurich. I had like so many mails of people trying to make their fashion week. But Zurich was the most attracting to me. So I was like, okay, Zurich is going to be. They asked me to be headlining Zurich Fashion Week for bringing a new perspective, because Zurich was really like just like normal fashion, and they wanted me to bring a new perspective to Zurich while also hosting the after party, the main after party of Zurich Fashion Week.
Wait, how do you host an after party?
I'm just there.
Oh, so you're just a presence.
I'm just the face of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, and I'm collaborating with Zadie Banks. Shout out to her, because she's the person that took me through this travel, which was a gorgeous dream and a nightmare at the same time. Because again, it gave me 0 out of 10 for a fashion week. It's a show that is made out of a lot of design. So, Zurich Fashion Week is basically a show that is made out of several designers showing on the same day. So you don't have your own show. It's not like this. This is my own show. I do my own production. I do my own creativity.
You're part of a bigger program or something.
You're part of a program. Hate.
Okay, I can already.
I have the same models than the other shows.
Oh.
Yeah, same makeup,
so
same.
But so it's like
it's a production thing.
Fast fashion.
Yeah,
kind of
it's not fast fashion, but it's like
fast production at least.
It's like a school show. Like
okay.
Yeah, so that was a nightmare for me, but I still pushed through, and I mean everything was paid for me, so that was fine. But at the end of the day, they wanted me to headline, so I gave them the hard time of their lives. I was like, everything has to be my way. So I arrived backstage and I changed everything last minute. Yeah, it was cute whatsoever. I will never do it again.
Okay.
Because it was a really bad experience for me. It reminded me that I'm doing something on purpose and I have a power on my own, and I'm not going to share it with a random team of people that disrespect my art. They wanted
your sort of presence.
They just wanted,
but they don't want. They just
wanted
really
what
work with you.
So they just wanted what I was giving, like the whole creativity. They were like, "Oh, we're so mind blown and stuff." They didn't understand it to the point of it because they thought I was just one of the designers. At the end of the day, they just treated me like one. And I was like, no, absolutely not. What I'm doing, and I kept on telling them, what I did in Paris Fashion Week was such a time rush. It was so hard to do. Y'all don't understand the work I did behind it. Y'all putting me in a fucking school show. No, absolutely not. I'm not going to be treated like this.
But then they still treated you like a queen, and they paid for everything.
The VIP treatment was there. Yeah, they had to balance it out.
So how did that, like, how fucking weird is that to at the same time be treated as like the main sort of figure, and then still feel disrespected and feel like you're in a little school défilé? Like, what a crazy,
it is a crazy
weekend it must have been.
Yeah. I hope some people got fired on the way, because some people really like the assistants of the Federation of Zurich Fashion Week. I hope they learn from this, because they took me as their headliners. I hope they learn from it that they're not going to make the mistake of taking a big creative heads in too early, because it was their second fashion week, not too early. They have to build first their base, because taking me as I did Paris Fashion Week with the Paris, like the whole PR and stuff, I know my shit. I know what I'm doing, and taking me too early, it's not going to make them good, because I screamed at people that I don't know what they don't know what they're doing. And that pisses me off. I'm like, if you want to build a fashion week, please know what you're doing, and please know what fashion is about. Don't be giving me the same models as the fucking show before with the same hair and the same makeup. If I tell them the hair and the makeup has to be changed and you give me an hour, no, you don't give me an hour. The hair and the makeup has to be changed, point period. There's no but. No, there's no but. You want me to be having a good show. You want me to have a good show. You give me the good base for it, point period. But the VIP treatment was really nice. No, but at the end of the day, but I take my job seriously, and every room I intend to enter, if I am in a creative space, I want them to treat their job as much as I treat my job. So if I give 100%, you better give 100% too. If you give 90%, I don't fucking care, you out of the door. I want you to give the same 100% that I'm giving. And that's point period. I think you have to work with people that work like that. Because if there's an unbalance in we didn't know, like, make your research, guys. Come on. If you want to be a real Zurich Fashion Week, you better step up your games. Because fashion is a difficult world. If you're treating it like a school show, it's not going to work out.
I think it's really interesting how you talk about it, considering you only have one experience.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like that one experience gave me so much knowledge. And also, I'm a I mean, I've been through. I was a model before also, so I don't have I have this experience as a designer, but I have experience as a model also. So I know
the
how
world for longer time.
For 7 years now, so I know the inside world of it, and I know how it works as a model, then as a photographer, then as a designer. So I know the 3 sides of it.
Okay.
Which give me the power of also waking up like Zurich. I really had to be like, oh, step on your tippy toes. It's gonna be. I got wasted the day of my show. I couldn't walk before the end of my show.
You walk? Were you supposed to walk in this show?
No, I was not. I was supposed to walk. I was supposed to say goodbye. I couldn't walk anymore. My nerves were so nerve-wracked that I shutted myself of alcohol because otherwise I was gonna shoot someone. I was like, absolutely, people are not doing this the day of my fucking show.
Something else you told me that really impressed me was the kind of discrepancy between your financial capabilities and the place you were at.
Yeah. It's such an imbalance. People think I'm rich. I look rich, but I'm the poorest I've ever been.
Yeah, and so like you were telling me about going to the Aldi to get some drinks or some food because you couldn't pay the room. Like I need you to say this because it's like that's what reality behind the scenes is, right?
Absolutely.
And I need you to share this.
But I think I'm dressing the biggest celebrities of the world. I mean, it's not everything is turning me into a powerhouse of fashion. I'm the poorest I've ever been. I cannot barely pay my rent whatsoever because everything is so expensive to make in fashion. You have to pay the fabric, you have to pay this, then import costs, then stylists are fucking you over. There's so many things that are putting the balance so wrong in the fashion industry that I'm barely surviving in it. Every day I think about quitting my job.
Seriously?
Yeah. There is a moment I'm like, if this season doesn't give me money, if the next project I'm doing on is not giving me enough money for me to create, I'm quitting that shit.
But then you're so resilient and you don't let anyone...
I'm not letting it go.
Yeah,
because that's my only way of doing it.
Yeah, so it's just something you say right now.
No,
but I do understand you feel discouraged at certain moments. And anyone who keeps pushing through when they're not or when they're uncertain, they will have these moments, right?
Yeah. It feels very discouraging, but I'm a fighter. Oh, absolutely. I'll take a fight any day. But of course, I'm saying But I do have the thought of quitting. Will I ever? No, because if I quit, I will not do anything. I prefer to hang somewhere in the backyard. I don't want to do anything but fashion. And that's point period. I'm not going to do anything else.
This brings serves as the perfect bridge to the very last part, I guess, of the podcast, which is if you can never stop, what is next? And I know that you are very secretive about what you're going to do is it fourth or fifth collection now?
Now it's going to be a pre-collection.
Okay, pre-collection.
So it's going to be like a kind of like the ready to undress, like the in-between collection.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that for just a minute because maybe you can show it also on the website. So you have in that... third collection, you started making a shift towards something that you thought was wearable, but then wasn't really. And now you actually have a shop online and you put some things on, but
there's nothing yet from that collection that I'm talking about.
Yes, but there's some.
So there's bags. There's bags. The t-shirt that I made in collaboration with the Princess of Belgium. And then
what? Who?
The Princess of Belgium.
What?
Delphine de Saxe-Coburg.
You made something together with the Princess of Belgium.
Yeah, I made an outfit for her for the National Day.
Really?
So the National Day of Belgium,
I don't know when it is. I don't know.
No, I don't know. It's in July.
Cut.
I made like a full custom made outfit for her, Delphine. So the daughter of the princess was not recognized as a princess. Now she's the princess. She wore full Judassime, and then we made a t-shirt together, which is the Don't Repeat the History, and the bag that she wore on the day itself of the national.
But how did this come to be? Like
I don't know. The stylist just contacted me.
But it seems. Wait, just go back for a minute. It seems to me that in these type of circles, clothing are very brav, are very not badass or
Yeah.
dark. So who is this character, this princess who decides to wear Judassime? Like, is it like
She wanted to take a risk, huh?
is it like a bit of controversy in her world then for choosing this?
Oh, the PR after that?
What happened?
I was doing all the press. The magazines were only my fucking face the whole week. No, they were all shocked about it because she wore only leather. It was full leather red. It was only so the bag that is here. The whole outfit was made out of that.
Okay, and
So it was a full corset with a full long. Never mind. I have the outfit right here. So the outfit was this.
so a princess of Belgium wore your outfit.
Yeah.
And you're just casually dropping this in the conversation,
Yeah.
by the way.
And what's this outfit? Yeah, that was cute. It was made on her. So this one is the one from the show. So I
Okay.
knew I was going to do it in the show. She asked me to do an outfit for her. And I didn't want to lose time making a full-on new outfit for her. So I just chose an outfit that was in my lineup for the show. And I made it on her. So this outfit was remade on her for the National Day of Belgium. It was fab. She looked amazing.
And so you know her personally now.
Yeah, she's nice.
That's lovely.
No, but you know, royalty is royalty. She's an amazing person.
But what does she do, like in her as a job or like as a free time? I don't even know. Like I don't even know if princesses work. But is she creative or?
She's an artist. She's a painter.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a painter that I know for. I mean, I saw her house. She's a painter and a sculptor, so she does like painting and sculpting. For the rest, I don't know. I mean, she has a lot of kids, so she's taking care of her kids. They're going to school and stuff. The rest, I don't know. Her husband is really a sweet person, though.
And was there any future collabs in mind, or was it just a one-off fun thing for the moment being?
I love her, though I would like to be paid if there is any future collab coming up.
You were paid in credits.
No payments was made on this project.
Okay.
And I think I lost a lot of time on that. I respect her work, and she should have respected me a little bit more on that one.
Okay. No further questions.
No further. No, yeah.
Okay. So the wearables.
Yeah.
What like you're now going to go into full production?
So first we're dropping the visuals, which is gonna be in a month. Or
Visuals? What do you mean campaign visuals?
So the campaign visuals and all the pieces apart, and then we're seeing how it blows, and then we're going with investor into production of several of the pieces, which some of them are from the Paris runway, some of the skirts are gonna go into production, and some of them are full brand new, ready to wear. Not the other project I had in between, because the other project was really not ready to wear. As I told you, it's like more like it's still too fantasy whatsoever. Now it's an actual ready to wear. I really worked on pieces that were screaming Judassime, but comfortable and still a ready to wear
and
thing.
cheaper
Cheaper
to produce.
Also.
So you're working with producers in which countries?
I don't know, but it's gonna be based in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is this a conscious choice?
Yeah. I mean, just because also I think even if there's really good production in China, there's a thing that made in China is really bad on the eye of the people. Even if in China you can find the best luxury things, there's something made in China or made in Asia in general.
It carries an aura of negativity.
It carries the aura of, it's cheap.
Yeah.
Or, it could be made cheaper. It carries that aura even if it's totally fake, because most of it, yes, there is a lot of like the whole fast fashion is made in China and it is cheap, but there is still very good luxury things in China whatsoever. So I'm not going to choose that side because I still want to have like a market that is a bit more luxurious. So it's going to be or Italy, Portugal, or Greece.
Okay. Still a southern country for cheaper production,
Yeah,
but within Europe.
Yeah. So we'll see about that, but it's gonna drop very soon. And
can you give us a little bit of a heads up of what kind of pieces we can expect? The tops, bottoms, or the accessories?
A lot of bags. I'm actually doing a collections of bags. But for the wearable pieces, it's more like there's knits there. The fabrics are changing fully.
Okay.
So there is still
we're not doing leather anymore.
There is still leather things in the outfit itself, but it's only parts to make so for example, if you cut a skirt in two and you put something more comfortable on the bottom and then the leather on the top, it might make it look more comfortable to walk and to sit and stuff. So there is that thing of like changing a little bit of fabrics, making more knits, ribs.
Did you feel like you
jersey.
have to make compromise?
No, because I actually love what I'm doing right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I truly love the pieces. Not like the other one, because the other one, the ready to undress this, I do love this jacket. I do, yeah. I don't love the pieces. Now I truly love the pieces. Like the pieces are actually really good pieces that could be on the runway also.
Okay.
But they're actually comfortable.
When can we order online these new pieces?
Do
you have a time frame?
June somewhere.
Oh, so this year still?
This year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Working hard on it. No, it's gonna be fine. I'm really excited because finally I get to reach because I am dreaming of people wearing my pieces on the. I'm dreaming on walking on the street and being like, this was made by me.
That's would be sick, right? That would be sick.
Because I had friends wearing my stuff and so whatever. But I have a dream of like just walking and passing someone being like, oh, that was from me, which is so fab.
Yeah, it makes me think of like when you were like really like a rock star and people get like your tattoo.
Yeah.
And then they come and show you at the show like, hey, look,
people
I get your
got
tattoo.
a tattoo of me. Someone got a tattoo of me. Yes.
No.
I
have a picture of this.
I had it on my camera.
Oh my God, really?
It was.
How did you feel about that? But like
weird.
Yeah, right?
Weird. I was like, hello, I'm not that famous. Calm down, girl. Like, let's. No, but also they got a tattoo because it was a really beautiful picture that I took when I was really young. It was like a self-portrait. So the picture was also beautiful. It was not just because it was me. It was just a nice contrasting picture for a tattoo, I think. And then I got tagged in it and I was like, that's on their leg forever?
That's crazy.
I love it, but also really good choice because that picture is actually fab.
It's good for the ego also, perhaps.
Yeah!
And perhaps the last question that I'm curious about is maybe in 5 or 10 years, what's happening then? Like you don't have to talk specifics in like collections or things, but like what's the bigger picture here?
Moved from Belgium. For sure, not in Belgium anymore. I don't know. I want to have like a kind of like two-sided life. So a very peaceful life to create.
Like nature?
Kind of nature. Yeah. And then a very chaotic life to or party or show my collection. So going back to the city. So I still want to have like this like this kind of like double life thing. Like during the week, full nature, full like a little farm somewhere. I don't know, somewhere in the world. And then during the weekend or during fashion weeks and stuff, going in full chaos. I want to experience both lives. Yeah.
But you're still very young, so like you're like for me.
Yeah, but it's
so
just
you
like,
still have like a lot of movement to do before you settle, I feel. Or
but I got tired of Antwerp or Belgium in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if I want to fully move to a city, it's going to be outside of Belgium for sure.
Preference?
London.
London.
Yes. No, London for sure. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be London, which is very difficult and very expensive. But that's going to be for the next month to talk about.
Yeah. Do you see yourself as like one of the big fashion houses, like a lot of people, maybe 200 working for you and just like...
Absolutely. I want to grow.
And how much do you want to create, or do you want to like kind of be more exclusive and only create a few pieces, you know, like, or do you really want to follow into, like, what else are you seeing in this future life?
So my dream is, as a fashion house, is to grow as a 200 people fashion house, but not as fast fashion, more as a 200 people trying to take the craftsmanship higher and higher every season. Mm-hmm. So like a couture house, more a couture house with a side of ready to wear.
What is for you a definition of a couture house for someone who doesn't know? A
couture house, it's so a couture made outfit is something that is made on one person. There's only one example in the world. It's made on one. It's like a fantasy.
Personal pieces.
It's a personal piece that is. It's a fantasy. A couture show happens only once a year, and it's like this whole fantasy piece, and it's unwearable almost. It's made on you, but it's like this super extravagant thing, and it's cost hundreds of thousands of euros. That's most likely a couture outfit. If you go to Dior and stuff, it's like 50 to 70K for a skirt or a jacket.
Is that so?
Yeah.
I have no idea. But I have no idea about the prices.
No, a couture jacket at Dior might be 40 to 50K. Yeah.
Okay.
It's made on you. It has your name in the lining. It's fully made for you. So it's like a fantasy thing. It's all made by hand.
But you did tell me that even now, like your pieces are 10 to 15K.
If I make it on
for production,
custom, yeah.
that's because of the amount of hours you're putting into it. You have to buy the raw materials, and it's just like
a custom made outfit.
It's so
even
custom
if it's
made.
me, yeah.
I was really at the same time surprised and not surprised, because I mean, look at a painter. Like they make a painting, it easily goes for like 5 to 10K. Also, why?
Yeah.
Because there's just so much time and
There's
material
so much time,
into it. So in that sense, 40K is okay. You're using your brand name. You're using a brand name.
No, but
It's
those
crazy,
brands are
but
also paid by the brand name. Huh?
Yeah,
and by the history
so,
they have. But if you do it fairly, a jacket can go very fast to 3, 4, 5K. Even if it's
just raw materials and time you put into it without a brand.
If it's a custom made, if it's made on measurements, changing the patterns is absolutely insane. If you want to make it on the person, calling the person, knowing what they want, the fabric, searching the fabric, making the drawing, going back to the person, fittings.
The whole ping pong takes forever.
It's insane. The prototypes, going back to the person, fittings, prototypes, again, blah, blah, blah. It's crazy. It's actually a lot of hours. Love it. It's fashion. It's fashion.
I really have to pee, but is there one thing that you wanted to talk about that I forgot to ask you about? Something you want to share with my audience, with your audience, with the world, or just some topic that was really important to you that I just failed to ask about? Okay, thank you. I needed to pee. That was perfect.